Hey y'all, it's Click for K. Thanks for clicking for me, and if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But that's if you want to, of course. And if you do subscribe, you can also just, hit me up and follow me on my other social medias at Click for K on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. But that's up to you, whatever. But I really just wanted to have like a real conversation, y'all. I'm just chilling in the car right now. I just wanted to have a real conversation because today is Tuesday, the day before my birthday. My birthday is January 31st. Big Aquarius season. Big Aquarius. And I'm turning 28, y'all. Big 28. So I'm just having a moment of realization, I guess. And a part of the realization is me getting this camera, and my birthday is also at the beginning of the year. So whenever my birthday come around, I feel like I'm always... Let me turn this windshield wiper off before it pisses me off. Whenever my birthday come around, I feel like it's around the time, or it is around the time when everybody doing their New Year's resolutions and what they want to do differently. So it's kind of the same for me. In 2 years, I'll be 30. And for me, I am so far away from my goals. And if you talk to my friends or my family, they're going to say, Kayla, you crushing it. You doing so good. There's so much that you're doing. Keep it up. Keep it up. And when they say it to me, like, I feel like I'm so detached from my achievements that I don't really receive the pat on the back or the congratulations or I'm proud of yous the way that I should. So, one, I do want to do a better job at giving myself recognition and showing more gratitude for my accomplishments, because I am very gracious and happy for, that I was even able to, I am very happy that I was even able to touch the people that I have been able to touch and do the things that I've been able to do within my business. But even though I know that there's so much more that I want to do. With that being said, I know that there's a lot that I've been doing that's been holding myself back, and I'm really creating this video because I'm pretty sure there's somebody else out there that's feeling the exact same. Like, you constantly on TikTok, YouTube, saving stuff about how to do this, how to do this. At this point, you've been doing it for a year and you know how to do it. You just haven't did it. And I'm speaking to myself. Like, I'm looking to this camera, looking at y'all, looking at me. Okay, so we all in the same boat. And that's another reason why I wanted to even start this YouTube channel. So I think it's very important that I even stay consistent, because I want to build a community and be able to motivate y'all motivate me, but I really want a community. Like, that's my main reason for starting this channel. And then B, I really enjoy scrapbooking and just keeping record of stuff. So it'll be nice to look back on this January 30th, 2024, and then look back at 2026 and say, dang, I said I was going to do it and I really did it, and this is where I'm at now. And to be able to show clips, leading up to that. So I'm just really getting serious with everything now. One of my big problems, not even just in 2023, but just period, is that I procrastinate. Like, I will wait until the absolute last minute to do everything. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wait till the last minute. And I feel like if you want to start a business or if you want to be successful, you can't wait till the last minute. You have to do it. A part of this awakening is not even just like the fact that I'm turning 28, but I just quit my job. And I am about to start a new job soon. But it'll be a less strenuous job that'll allow me more space and time to do or crush the goals that I'm trying to crush, which is content creation, YouTube, and growing my business. Which I'm going into a kind of a different direction with my business. I don't really... We'll talk about that another time. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all like why I ended up leaving my job, because it's kind of overdue, like me leaving that job. I always say everything happens for a reason, so I ain't even tripping. I'm not going to go too far back because I also want to do a video just about my last journey, so I don't want, it to be redundant. But, so I'm going to leave some parts out. But what I'm going to say is there was a portion where I was only self-employed, like just working within my business for over a year. So when I decided to go to esthetician school to get my license, when I decided to go to esthetician school to get my license, I decided to find a part-time job. The part-time job I will not name, but it was a supervisory position, basically working as a site manager at a elementary middle school. Absolutely love my job because it was completely autonomous, which was the best thing for me to do, moving from self-employment to working for somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was 100% used to just going about my day how I'm used to going about my day, picking my own hours, dealing with clients the way I'm wanting to deal with clients, to be honest. And then working for somebody, let me tell y'all how my regular day would be. I would go to the office, and that's where my supervisor and whatnot would be. That's where, like, the check-in post would be. After that, I would go over to the elementary school with all of the equipment to bring to my team. I used to have a team of 6 to 7 facilitators. At that point, we're kind of setting the tone for our own day. Like, this is the job. This school, this building, these 4 walls is our job. As far as dealing with higher ups, the only way was pretty much through email or phone call. So, y'all, it was pretty sweet. Like, it's cool. It was after school programming. I made the schedule as far as what was taught curriculum wise each day. So, maybe one day would be structure rec, one day would be math, one day would be literacy, whatever the case. And then the facilitators would come up with a lesson plan monthly, and they would turn it in to go with that schedule or whatever. We would celebrate birthdays, bringing cupcakes, pizza. We would have random pizza parties. We used to have a good time, but a structured good time. And I would kind of whenever I would get information from the supervisors or the higher ups, I would relay it to them in a way that was kind of manageable versus it happening straight on. And I'm saying that for a reason. But it was better to deal with because we were working. The team that I had was likable. That's the best way I can say it. It was a very likable team. We got along very, very well. Of course, they didn't like everything that I said, but I feel like as a supervisor, that's the case. One thing I can say that I think the problem is it's an after school program, but it's been around for about like 16, 17 years. And I think it might be a fault to them that they hire. I mean, it's good. It looks good on paper, but as far as working, they hire a lot of their old after school program students. So just put yourself in that mindset. Like, you used to teach these students every single day growing up for about 10 years, and you've been teaching these people, and now they're adults. They grown as hell. And now they grown, and then you've employed them to work on your team. You can kind of imagine that, and then these are older women, so you can kind of imagine that it's kind of learned behavior, but they're used to speaking to them like they are their parents, you know. And then these now young adults are used to receiving, critique from them in the manner that they used to in the after school program, so they're accepting it. So that's kind of like how the environment was, even with people because I wasn't in the after school program when I was younger. I just worked there. And I've also worked in corporate. I worked for the state of Michigan. I've worked for DHS. I've worked for Homeland Security. I'm experienced in the corporate end. So coming here, I can see the fault. But I kind of expected some fault because it's a nonprofit. It was a small nonprofit, and they're growing. So I expected some. But other things, it's like, you know better. This is not your first job. So, the language was not good. I have to say that, number one. And she's not my direct supervisor. Now, one thing I have to tell y'all that my now direct supervisor, I'm going to call her Soup. I'm just calling her Soup. Soup, one comment that she made was, if everybody on your team likes you, then it's a problem with your leadership. And she didn't say it to me, and that's another problem that I have with this entire organization, is that nothing was said directly. Like, we'll have meetings, and then they'll talk at you. They'll talk at everyone, but know exactly who they talking to. I'm a direct person. If you have a problem with Kayla, then you need to say, tap me on my shoulder and say, Kayla, I didn't like that you did this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we can address it like that. But if you say it as a general, I don't care. If I know that you're talking to me, I'm acting like I don't. Y'all heard her? Oh, okay. But anyway, she said it was a problem with your leadership. Y'all comment down below. You tell me, like, do you agree with that? If everybody on your team likes you, then it's a problem with your leadership. And y'all, I ain't gonna judge y'all if y'all agree. I just want y'all opinion for real, because to me, I feel like that's a faulty statement. I think everybody on my team can like me, can appreciate me, but you won't like everything that comes out my mouth, and that's fine. Because I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to supervise. But we can have a good time too. So you're not going to like everything that I say. But I think it's okay for you to like somebody as a person. And I feel like she just knew that the people under her didn't really care for her. So that's how she justified it. And that wasn't my first supervisory position, but I digress. So we will also meet at the general building whenever we would have like team meetings and whatnot, and that would be on certain days, like I think every first and third Friday, every second and fourth, something like that. I don't know. So it wasn't stressful, because I could go to my job from 1 to 6:30, and I had my own office. I was helping with disciplinary stuff. I would oversee the day-to-day after-school programming. The day would go by pretty quickly, pretty smoothly. The 4.5 hours would go by like this, y'all, laughing throughout the day. Like, we used to have a good time. So that school year ended, and they told me that they could not honor my schedule anymore. They couldn't honor a schedule from 9 to 1 for me for the following summer. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm backing out. So it got to like the last week of my employment, and one of the supervisors came up to me and they said that they were willing to honor my schedule, but I would have to switch positions. And the position they told me would be working with the summer students, basically helping them with employment. So they'll be employed through our organization. Some of them will be doing the summer camp, and then some people will be sent out to other work sites. So like we had like a popcorn place, a law office, and whatnot. And then my job would be, along with someone else that I was working with directly, but our job would be to go over to these sites and basically check in and supervise and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing at each of these sites. We would have to collect their hours and whatnot. Still a very simple job. Okay. And that's all they told me my job would be. So then now the school year is over, and now the summer is over, and now it's the school year, and they're telling me that that's still my position. Okay. Mind you, now that I have switched my position during the summer, I now have a different supervisor. So this particular supervisor, I already knew was on the messy side. Like, she definitely was more so on the messy side, but I didn't have to deal with her personally, so it didn't bother me. But I always heard stories from people that worked with her directly, and even my direct supervisor, when I was working over at the sites, like at the elementary, middle school, away from the office, my direct person, I even connected with him when he left the job, and she's pretty much a good amount of the reason why he left. And other people that left the job, I connected with them as well, and she's the reason why they left, along with some other people. But anyways, so now she's my direct supervisor. So that was one of my number one concerns when I switched to this position. Like, okay, she gonna be a problem. And her biggest problem was that she just don't know how to talk to people, like, at all. Like, she don't know how to talk to people in a professional manner. And for you to be a director or whatever the case, you need to correct your language. One thing I can say that I think the problem it's an after school program, but it's been around for about like 16, 17 years. And I think it might be a fault to them that they hire, I mean, it's good. It looks good on paper. But as far as working, they hire a lot of their old after school program students. So just put yourself in that mindset. Like, you used to teach these students every single day growing up for about 10 years, and you've been teaching these people, and now they're adults. They grown as hell, and now they grown, and then you've employed them to work on your team. You can kind of imagine that, and then these are older women, so you can kind of imagine that it's kind of learned behavior, but they're used to speaking to them like they are their parents, and then these now young adults are used to receiving, critique from them in the manner that they used to in the after school program, so they're accepting it. So that's kind of like how the environment was, even with people because I wasn't in the after school program when I was younger. I just worked there. And I've also worked in corporate. I worked for the state of Michigan. I've worked for DHS. I've worked for Homeland Security. I'm experienced in the corporate end. So coming here, I can see the fault, but I kind of expected some fault because it's a nonprofit. It was a small nonprofit, and they're growing. So I expected some, but other things, it's like, you know better. This is not your first job. So the language was not good. I have to say that, number one. And she's not my direct supervisor. Now, one thing I have to tell y'all that my now direct supervisor, I'm gonna call her Soup. I'm just calling her Soup. Soup. One comment that she made was when I was the direct supervisor was, if everybody on your team likes you, then it's a problem with your leadership. And she didn't say it to me, and that's another problem that I have with this entire organization, is that nothing was said directly. Like, we'll have meetings, and then they'll talk at you. They'll talk at everyone, but know exactly who they talking to. I'm a direct person. If you have a problem with Kayla, then you need to say, tap me on my shoulder and say, Kayla, I didn't like that you did this on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we can address it like that. But if you say it as a general, I don't care. If I know that you're talking to me, I'm acting like I don't. Y'all heard her? Oh, okay. But anyway, she said it was a problem with your leadership. Y'all comment down below. You tell me, like, do you agree with that? If everybody on your team likes you, then it's a problem with your leadership. And y'all, I ain't gonna judge y'all if y'all agree. I just want y'all opinion for real, because to me, I feel like that's a faulty statement. I think everybody on my team can like me, can appreciate me, but you won't like everything that comes out my mouth, and that's fine. Because I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to supervise. But we can have a good time too. So you're not going to like everything that I say. But I think it's okay for you to like somebody as a person. And I feel like she just knew that the people under her didn't really care for her. So that's how she justified it. And that wasn't my first supervisory position. But fast forward, past the summer, now it's the school year again. And I still have the same hours, 9 to 1. So it's a bunch of people quitting, y'all, and they've laid off a whole bunch of people. Like, the team has shrunk tremendously to the point where they're starting to tell us that some people that used to give them grants are starting to look at the organization more closely or more carefully, because it's so many people leaving the organization. They're trying to figure out why. And then people are leaving so quickly that they're not even able to get all of the documents that we need to continue to do our job correctly, because the people are kind of saving stuff under certain files, and then we don't know what is being saved under, that they don't know what is being saved under. So to me, that's a question for your supervision, for your leadership, because how you don't know. But anyways, so we trying to find like loopholes, and we praying in the dark to figure out like how we can get certain documents back type thing. So after all these people have quit, me and the girl that work, we co-work together. We're doing workforce development. And then all of a sudden, we don't even have a meeting about it. Our supervisor has a meeting with the founder, and then they just come and tell us that, okay, now our position is being changed. First of all, they said it in a way where it's like, we have a grant that's paying y'all for what y'all do. So what y'all do is being changed from workforce development to, what they changed it to? Alumni and Youth Success, which they didn't give us that name. They told us it's changing to work with alumni and high school students, and they told us to think of a title for ourselves. Mind you, the positions that we have were 3 different positions. It was a workforce development position, and it was another person that was on that team. So it was a manager, a specialist, and then the alumni position was the 3rd position. She quit, and then it was me and the person I was co-working with doing workforce development. So instead of them hiring a 3rd person, which they did interviews for, I'm assuming that they couldn't get enough grant money to pay for this position, because they told us that they found a bunch of good candidates, but they decided not to go with none of them. They just decided to put the position together. So now me and the person I was co-working with directly are working together to do 3 positions. So we're working together to fill this other spot. Generally, I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I have a problem with working at an organization where, I wouldn't have even applied to work this position if I knew that this was going to be the position. I initially applied to be a site manager. Then it changed to workforce development. And then I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm already upset that it's changed, because now I'm in an office all day. I'm not going over to work with a team of whatever, 6 to 7 people, and then we're creating our own world. No, now I'm in an office all day working under this supervisor that says passive aggressive things all freaking day. And now y'all are piling on another position with us, and y'all not adding on no pay, because y'all just about to hire somebody else. Y'all just about to hire somebody else, but now y'all forcing us into this position that we're confused about. So needless to say, me and my coworker, like, every day we talking about it. We talking about how we hate it, how our supervisor is not doing a good job with communication, you know, all of that stuff, whatever. Because it will be stuff that she'll expect for us to do, and then she won't communicate it. And then she'll talk to her higher up, which is the founder. And then after she talks to the founder, she'll come back to us like it's an emergency. Like, y'all should be doing this and that should have been done. Oh, we talked about it. Oh, it was in emails a while ago, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. Like, we never ever talked about it. It was just always cap. And then she would say so many passive aggressive or slick comments to, okay, let me tell y'all. One of the reasons why I was so happy to even work at this job was, it was a nonprofit, and ever since college, like, I'm a psych major. Since college, I've been working with kids, so I was so happy to be working, you know, in the after school program. Number one. Two, all black organization. I was so happy because I've never ever worked at an all black organization, and I felt like it would be more homey, and it was a small, close knit. Never again. I'm so mad that I let this organization make me feel this way, y'all, because I was so happy, literally. But now I'm completely turned off. But now that I'm telling y'all that it's an all black organization, at some point during the summertime, they rehired a white man that used to work there. I'm gonna call him Stitch. So Stitch, he's very cool, but he can be a little extra sometimes, but he cool as hell. And he was our HR person. He would make little slick black comments or whatever. Like, it was one time that we was having a meeting, and I cannot remember what they was saying, but it was something to the ends of, like, slavery or whatever, because he was going over HR stuff and, like, what things are legal and blah, blah, blah. I'm getting paid for free. I mean, free work and whatnot. And then it was inching towards us talking about slavery or making a joke about slavery, but he didn't. And then Soup was like, and then he was like, oh, no, I know my place. But it would be a lot of comments like that she would make. Or it was another time where we were talking about speaking or teaching the children the Black National Anthem, and she asked everybody in the room to raise their hand if they knew the Black National Anthem, and Stitch raised his hand, and then she was like, oh, okay, I see you. I just feel like that's unnecessary to do, because he's literally the only white man here. Like, we all peeped it, we all felt the same way in our head, but we didn't call it out. And then we'll have some meetings where like, they will encourage you to, like, if you got a problem with something that your coworker did, bring it up in the meeting. Which I'm one of them people where if I got a problem with something you're doing, I don't need to mention it in front of a team of 15 people. I feel like that's a mess. I'm gonna just, hey, I didn't like that you blah blah, whatever the case might be. She would push for that to happen, but what it really was that she had a problem with certain things that were being done, so she wanted other people to say the things that were in her head. So she would be like, no, we didn't like that, or we didn't like how you set up the food distribution or whatever, and she'd be like, can somebody else tackle that? Like, girl, if I had something to say or to piggyback on what you said, I would have. So that's what I mean by she was very, very, that's a part of what I mean by she was very, very messy. So let me fast forward, and so I can get to telling y'all why I actually ended up leaving this job. Let me be very, very transparent. Once my position changed from what I initially applied for to what they wanted me to be doing, I already had in my mind, like, Kayla, it's time to go. It's just a matter of figuring out where you want to go. Now, what I can say was I was against applying for my past jobs, which was like foster care. Which was foster care or whatever. Which I don't want to do foster care, but I used to work for the state doing foster care, and it was a very, very, very strenuous job. So I was trying to, still work in my field of psychology, but I didn't want that much work or whatever. So I was applying to jobs where I really didn't have that much experience for, so it was taking me a bit longer to leave. I had to say that first. So, my schedule was 9 to 1. Again, I was about to leave this job before the summer started, but I decided to stay because they convinced me to stay, because they told me that they can now offer me a position from 9 to 1 so I can still have time to work my business. But I will be changing my job title to a different job title, which changed again after we had the initial conversation. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, I'll stay. Since y'all can honor my 9 to 1, I will stay. So anyways, fast forward. So, no, not fast forward yet. Mind you, that summer, the person that I was co-working with, doing a job together, doing a three-person job with this other person, she was pregnant in the summer. So now we fast forward in this school year. It's 3 days before she's supposed to have her baby. Okay. I told them I'm going on vacation, and the reason why I'm feeling like I should be good to go on vacation is because it's a new year. I got new PTO. I haven't called off in a very long time because I used my PTO last year earlier in the year, so I'm excited. They tell me when I put in my time off notice, 2 days later, no, a day before I'm supposed to go, she like, I can't approve it because your coworker, I'm just gonna call him my coworker, your coworker will be out sometime that week because she'll be having her baby or whatever. But the type of job that I have, we don't have to be there every day. As long as the projects are completed, you don't have to be there every day. So I'm like, well, I'm still going. And the reason why I was going is because my best friend was having her graduation, and I told them in more than enough time. So I'm sorry that she's about to have her baby, but everything that I'm supposed to be doing is done. So, and that's what I'm talking about with these jobs. They don't give about you. But, and then when I'm about to finish the story, they don't give about you. But, yeah, so I told them, okay, well, I understand that you're instructing me not to go. You're not approving it, but I'm still going. And she like, okay, whatever. So I went on my vacation. Before I went on my vacation, me and her had a conversation like a week before I put in this time notice request. Y'all, I'm sorry. When I be telling stories, I be kind of going everywhere. I'm gonna get better though. Anyway, yeah, me and her had a conversation, and she said that actually it wasn't even me and her having a conversation. It was a meeting with 3 other people, and then during the meeting, she was like, "Yeah, and I've been meaning to talk to Kayla about her schedule too before." Ooh. I'm gonna say her name. I've been meaning to talk to Kayla too, about her schedule before her coworker leaves and goes on maternity leave, because I wanted to see if you could change your schedule from 9 to 1 to 1 to 5. And then I'm like, I didn't give her an answer right then, because this is the first time we're talking about it, and you're bringing it up in a meeting with 4 other people. Again, very unprofessional. That's not how you do it. So I didn't say nothing. After that, I was talking to my coworker, and my coworker like, girl, like, how you feel, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I'm just waiting for her to, come talk to me or whatever. A couple days passed, and I'm in the office by myself with her, and she asked me, like, would I be able to change my schedule? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that, because I would have left, a while ago if I knew that my schedule would be changing to 1 to 5. And then she like, yeah, well, the job just isn't working out how we wanted it to work, because, y'all, I was working 9 to 1 and my coworker was working 1 to 5. So they basically were saying that they thought that I would be doing certain work, and then she would take off where I left off. And I'm like, that's exactly what we do on a day-to-day basis. But she was saying that it's not working how they wanted it to work. But you could just piece that apart and say, they want me to do what they want me to do. And that's just it. Because it was working. They just wanted me to do something else now that's going to work better for them. So I'm like, yeah, 1 to 5 doesn't work for me, because I've already changed my whole schedule around to fit 9 to 1. So I can't honor that. That was our conversation. So the conversation is now over. So now I'm on vacation. I'm enjoying my vacation that she told me not to take, and I don't give a at this point. Yeah, I'm enjoying my vacation, and then I look at my email and it says urgent, hours changed. So I see that, what's his name? Stitch sent me a memo, CC with Soup and Founder, and it's saying that effective the next day, which is the next day is the day before I return from vacation. Effective the next day, my hours are being changed to 1 to 5. So I'm having a fit. I was in Cali with my best friend. She had just graduated that day before. I'm having a fit. And I'm like, I just talked to her face to face and told her I could not change my schedule, and y'all gonna send me a memo? A memo? Like, y'all don't even have the decency to wait till I come back from my vacation, and y'all gonna send it to me while I'm on vacation? So I send the text. I'm sending the email back. I'm gonna tell y'all what the email said. So I'm sick as hell, because I just realized I already knew that they had signed me out of the email and deleted my email, but I just realized that our whole email thread is gone because they have it. And I should have saved the email, because I'm mad. Because I applied to unemployment, and that was going to be a part of my proof. That just pissed me off. But anyway, I basically, to summarize what I said, I went in because I'm like, this is very unprofessional of y'all to send this way. I basically said it's unprofessional for y'all to be sending me an email like this while I'm on vacation, especially when I attempted to talk to my supervisor in person on a few occasions. And then I said if I was to leave the job, then I would be expected to provide 2 weeks, but y'all are telling me that it's effective tomorrow. So how is it different in this situation? So basically saying stuff like that. And I'm like, can somebody give me a call or whatever? Nobody called me. Nobody responded to the email, but yet I'm getting CC'd. So they sending messages to each other and around in a circle, but nobody's responding to what Kayla said, but y'all just sent me a message. And then I call everyone. Nobody responds. The next day, I come in because, you know, I'm supposed to come. I'm sorry, not the next day. The next day after my vacation, I come in and, you know, I'm supposed to be there from 1 to 5 now because it's effective the previous day. But I'm working 9 to 1. So I come at 9 to talk to my supervisor specifically since nobody can answer the freaking phone. She's not there, but other people are there. So then I call her again. She don't answer. And then she sent me a text message like, unfortunately, I'm not there today, but we can connect tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, so should I just leave for the day? She don't respond. So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. So I leave. And I come back the next day since she said we can connect the next day. When I come this time, she's basically underlining the fact that that's my schedule and she's sticking to it or whatever. And she like, no, we talked about it a while ago, and I also have an email to you. I have the email. And I'm like, I never received the email. And I keep saying I never received the email, and she's not showing no email. And that's what's one thing that she was famous for too, saying, oh, I have it all right here. Then where is it? Anyway, yeah, she's saying all of that. And then she telling me how I have a disciplinary note that she want me to sign, like basically a write-up for going on my trip, because they expected me to be at work. And I'm like, how did y'all expect me to be at work when I told y'all I wasn't going to be at work? And they're like, well, because you requested the days off and I told you couldn't have it off. And I'm like, yeah, you told me I couldn't have it off, and I told you before I left that I still wouldn't be here, so it's not a no-call, no-show. Don't word. See, and that's the problem with me. Well, that's the problem. How you don't get into a problem with me, because you need to make sure that your wording is correct. Don't word it and say that I knew that I was supposed to be at work that day and I decided not to come. No, or don't word it and say that y'all expected me to be there. If y'all expected me to be there, then that was your fault. That was your fault. That was your first mistake, because I told y'all I wasn't gonna be there. And she keep bringing up about that, and I'm like, I could care less about that, because number one, I'm not signing it. I'm not signing no damn write-up. That's number one. Number two, what I'm here to talk about, the whole reason I'm here, because I'm prepared to get all my stuff. The whole reason I'm here is to figure out about this schedule, because I told y'all I couldn't honor it. And then y'all sent me a memo unprofessionally telling me that my hours were changed still. So I'm like, so are y'all telling me that I don't have a position from 9 to 1? And they're like, well, we're not firing you. We're just saying that your position is now being changed from 1 to 5. And I'm like, well, if I'm telling y'all I can't work 1 to 5, and I told y'all I couldn't work 1 to 5 during the summertime, and y'all came over to me and told me that y'all can honor me, my position, because I'm such a good employee, or whatever the case might be, that y'all can make a whole, I don't know, schedule for me, a whole new schedule for me under a different position. That's the whole reason why I stayed. And now y'all telling me y'all cannot honor nothing from 9 to 1. They like, well, when your coworker leaves, then we're going to need somebody to be here at the time that she's here. But my whole thing was, she been pregnant for 9 months. Y'all been knowing for 8 months. So why 2 days before she is leaving, or before her last day of work, y'all trying to figure out if y'all could change my schedule? What y'all should have been doing is, when y'all found out she was pregnant during the summertime and y'all told me that I can work 9 to 1, y'all should have been figuring out how y'all could find y'all a temporary employee that could have been training under us for the last month, because for you to just expect that I was going to be able to change my schedule just up and like that, and y'all know I have business, is crazy. But again, I've been planning to leave this job ever since they changed my job from being a site manager to workforce development. God works in mysterious ways. So, yeah, we keep going back and forth like that. And of course, they keep on trying to say that they're not terminating me. But you're terminating me because you're changing my hours against my will. And I never said that I didn't want to work here. I just said I could only work during the time that y'all hired me to work, remember? So, yeah, I'm like, well, y'all can, who can I turn my equipment into? And she like, oh, okay, well, let me go get Stitch or whatever. So she going over there to get him. And he come in. He like, are you going to finish your day? And I'm like, no. And then, so I gave her my laptop and all of my little stuff or whatever. And then as I'm walking out the door, she like, oh my God, well, can I get a hug? Because I didn't realize this was going to be your last day. Girl, if you don't get out my face with that fake shit. So yeah, y'all, that was my last day. And I started a new job in 2 weeks, period. I was supposed to start a job today, or yesterday, because today's Tuesday. Yeah, I was supposed to start a job yesterday, but it was in foster care, and I'm not willing to accept a job in foster care anymore because I need to work a job that's going to allow me time to work in my business. Because after 2024, y'all, I'm not playing. It's all gas, no brakes, because I'm not playing with these jobs. They don't give a fuck about you at all. They don't care about you at all. So, yeah, I'm on my last leg. This year, I'm grinding it out. I'm about to be working more than I'm doing anything else. Last year, I was working more than I was doing anything else. But to be honest, I left a lot of gaps. Like, I was chilling. I was chilling for real. I was chilling a lot. And I'm not doing that this year because I'm the only person that I can blame for being on BS. And the same thing to you. You're the only person that you can blame too. Don't blame your mama, your friend, nobody. And even if you ain't got a camera, do it. Because you got a camera on your phone. You use it when you be posting them pictures, don't you? So, no, I'm talking to myself, too. Basically, I said all that to say, put yourself first. If you do have another goal, like, in your life outside of working your 9 to 5, because 9 to 5 is a goal in itself. But if you have a goal outside of that for yourself, whether it's entrepreneurship, you wanted to complete a project, or whatever the case may be, you have a vacation coming up, I'm here to tell you to take that vacation. I'm here to tell you to reach your goals. I'm here to tell you to put in the same amount of hours that you put in for them jobs for your business, because I for sure wasn't doing that while I was working that job. My job was suffering. I wasn't really posting on my business page, and I'm not doing that no more. So y'all learn from my story time. Learn from me. Let's learn together. And yeah, it's time to get it in. 2024 is no excuses. If you need motivation, hit me up because I need a tip. I need a tip. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening.